Flo, I wanted to get your update on a couple of things. First of all, the decision to put Curtis Weaver, waive him with an injury designation. Are you expecting him to be back? And two, how is Kyle Van Noy?
Weaver, start there. So again, a lot goes into, these decisions, the injury itself, player performance, salary cap, depth at the position, next year's draft. There's a lot that goes into it. Those conversations are had by myself, Chris, Brandon, the coaching staff. He's waived. I mean, he could get claimed. It's a small percentage of players who do get claimed in this situation. So we'll see if we get him back. We'll know this evening. As far as Kyle, got banged up a little bit yesterday. He's getting treatment. He's feeling a little bit better, and we're just going to take this thing day to day. And, I'm hopeful that he'll be out there. I know he'll try to get out there as soon as he can.
Armando?
Coach, we're going to talk to Josh Rosen later this afternoon, as you probably know. So what kind of camp is he having?
Josh, like all the quarterbacks, he's had some good moments, some bad moments. But, all in all, I think he's competing. I think he's made some, of all the quarterbacks, he's probably got the biggest arm. He's made some incredible throws, consistency. I would say we need to always be more consistent at every position, specifically the quarterback. And, there's a lot of competition there with Fitz to Tua to Josh. But he's a talented player. He's been competing. But consistency, really at that position, you need it from a situationally, from a leadership standpoint. But I do think he's making a lot of progress, and hopefully we'll continue with that progress.
Cam?
Hey, Flo, I know you've talked about it in different situations before, but there is another black man that was killed in, a kind of public matter by police with Jacob Blake. I wanted to see, if you want to say anything about how that impacts you or your team, yeah.
You're kind of cutting out, Cam.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. I heard the beginning part. How it impacts our team is the last thing I heard.
Yeah, just impacts you and your team, going forward, if that's something that you've discussed with them.
There's a lot that goes into this. I think, for me, when a situation like this comes up again, it just reminds me that there's a lot of fear in this world. There's a lot of anger in this world. There's racism, there's classism, there's sexism, and there's a lot of division. And what we need is unity. That's what we need. And unfortunately, situations like this create more division. And I think it's sad. I haven't watched it because I'm not ready to watch it. Emotionally, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to see. But there's just a lot of division. And we need more unity. And I haven't talked to the team about it yet, but I think we've had conversations about race and injustices, and I think they know where I stand on this. But we I think individually we all need to be better. We all need to be more empathetic. We all need to take more ownership of how we treat people. And again, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, on all sides, and it's unfortunate. There's a lot of division, and hopefully, I just try to do my best to improve the situation any way I can. I think our team tries to do that, and use their platform to create more harmony and camaraderie in the world. And hopefully we take the situation and try to make something good out of it. But when, you know, it continually happens, it's frustrating, but we got to do our best to try to make a kinder, more empathetic, more unified world.
Josh.
Hey, Flo, appreciate your thoughts on the Jacob Blake incident. To bring it back to football, you know, we've talked about Eric Flowers before, but in speaking with all the three rookies, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, all three of them were very complimentary of what Eric has done for them and kind of a mentorship role. Is there a way to, you know, describe just how valuable that can be, especially when there's so many newcomers and rookies down the line?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's very valuable. I mean, Eric's had a lot of experiences in this league. As a high draft pick, he's played for, you know, a few different teams. He's had a lot of ups, downs, you know, over the course of his career. He's learned a lot, and he's really kind of taken those young players under his wing to a degree. And, you know, to me, it's, you know, what better of a guy to do that? Someone who's had as many experiences as he had, you know, been in different places, been under different systems, but and had some success also, success and failures. So it's you know, when he talks to a young guy, a young offensive lineman, he's talking to him with a lot of knowledge, and I think, you know, if they just do a quick Google search, they'll read about it and know that there's, you know, he's been through a lot, and he's come through it, and he practices hard every day, and it's important to him, and he goes about his business the right way, and I think he's learned a lot over the course of his career. So I mean, it's been nice to see, and it's Eric, but it's also Ted Karras, it's Jesse Davis. I think, you know, Julian Davenport, you know, we've got, you know, Panky. I mean, they're all kind of, you know, they all work well together. Danny Sedora, I mean, they're all kind of work together, and helping those young guys get acclimated to the National Football League. Obviously, there's no preseason game, so they don't get to go out there and you know, bang with another team. But I know there's a lot of conversations about what it's like to play a game in this league. Those conversations are happening. Guys like Eric and Ted and Danny, they're leading those conversations.
Omar.
This is kind of a two-part question. I wanted to ask you about your thought process on rookies, because last year, especially with Dieter, you put him in there, threw him in the deep end to see how he played. And it seems like you're doing the same with a lot of these rookies, from Noah to the offensive linemen. Is that just your coaching philosophy? And also, I want to ask you about Nick Needham, because he's gotten a call up to the first team because of Noah's injury. How has he done so far in training camp, in your opinion?
All right, so let's. I'll start that with Nick. You know, I think Nick has made a lot of improvement over the course of a year. You know how Nick came into training camp, and he's learned a lot. I think he's matured a lot. I think he's taken a lot more professional approach from his rookie year, and he's made some strides. So, you know, I tell these guys, you know, when you get your opportunity, I mean, you have to take advantage of it. You know, so it's like basketball. You get to, you know, you get your opportunity. That's like getting to the free throw line. You either make it, you know, or you don't. So that's kind of some of the things we talked about. And so when Nick goes in because somebody else goes down and plays well, you know, that's what we're talking about as far as taking advantage of your opportunities. And that's not just football. That's, you know, life in general. So Nick's done a good job. As far as rookies in general, and, you know, throwing them in the fire versus not throwing them in the fire. You know, look, we play the guys we feel give us the best chance to win. You know, that was the case with, you mentioned Dieter last year, and he played a lot of football a year ago, and we felt like he gave us the best chance to win. But at the same time, there's a little bit of forecasting and predicting we need to do as coaches, as an organization, as a personnel department. Where a guy may not be better than somebody else in week 1, but the prediction, the forecast is that he may be better in week 12. And those are the decisions we have to make. So and every team's making those decisions in some form or fashion. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case. We might feel like he is better right now than, not Dieter. I'm not talking specifically about, one specific player. I'm just, in general, we may feel like that player X is better than, the veteran. But we may also feel like player X is going to be better. And that's a lot of what goes into the decisions here. So you guys will never really know what I'm thinking at the end of the day.
You were asked about Eric. Obviously, he spent some time on the COVID list. X has been out for a while. Common sense says if they're on for more than something going on. Those guys that have had long absences because of COVID, have you noticed beyond just the normal conditioning that they lose from a week of not practicing that the illness might have some effect on their lungs that takes them another week or two to get that breath back?
Adam, I think every case is different. They are. Everyone responds to, an infection, that infection, sickness, injury. Everyone responds a little bit differently. So, obviously, if you're out for an extended period of time, your conditioning, whether it's the world-class athlete or you or I mean, it's not going to be as good as it was, the 10 days or 2 weeks prior. So that's always going to be an issue. It doesn't matter who it is. And we just we take it case by case and try to work the guys back and work them back into shape and get them out there as quickly as we can because, everyone needs to practice. Everyone needs to prepare. We're closing in on cuts and, the first week of the season. So, we need the guys out there. But yeah, to answer your question, everyone's a little bit different.
We'll go to Safin.
Flo, how you doing today, man? There were some reports this summer about some teams reaching out about Josh Rosen's availability. Obviously, I know you won't divulge much into that, but it seems that, whether Fitz holds up or he doesn't, or you may not be ready to unleash him to that Josh has a role to play here. Could you expand a little bit on that, or where Josh kind of fits in that quarterback competition?
And, Josh is competing. He's competing with he's competing like everyone else. And I think, we're let's call it halfway through training camp. We're not anointing anyone starter or, this is still a competition. So I think he's going to fit in and his role is going to be what he makes it. Just like we said, every player at every position. So unless you've seen our depth chart, what I'm thinking. And to me, we're still going here. We got a practice today where guys will be competing and trying to get better, and we're going to work first, second, third down in red area in 2 minutes. We'll work some 2-point plays today, and we'll just compete and see where this thing how it shakes out. So.
We got time for one more. We'll go to Joe.
Good morning, Flo. On Rayquan McClain, where is he in his career development?
Rayquan's obviously started a lot of games in this league. Good tackler, good communicator, smart player, plays in the kicking game. He's still ascending. I think he's doing well. He's playing well in this training camp, and there's a lot of competition at the linebacker position between Rayquan and Landon Roberts and Calvin Munson and Baker and Kamu. So we just we'll see with the the chips fall. And again, everyone's still competing. This is practice, 7 of 14 in training camp. So we're right at the halfway point. No decisions have been made, but we're closing in. We're definitely making our evaluations, and some people are ahead of others. Yeah, you're not going to get that out of me today, Joe. But we're just trying to look. We're going to try to field the best team we can, and try to compete for an entire season. So, but Rayquan's playing. He's playing well, and I think he's a very good player in this league.